Okay, so welcome back to my channel once again. Now I know it's been a very long time since I posted a video on this channel, even though I've been posting some YouTube shorts recently, but talking about videos where I'll be teaching you something or even breakdown videos, it's been a very long time, but here I am today, and today I want us to take our time and break down the charts to see what the market has to offer us within the next trading week, okay, which is the upcoming trading week. So we'll be talking about Euro USD and GBP USD, which are my two favorite pairs. Okay, now before we step onto the chart, if you are new here and you're not subscribed to the channel, do well to hit that subscribe button, and if you've not turned your post notifications on, please do well to turn it on so that anytime I post a video, you're going to be notified and then you will not miss out on the video. Okay, so real quick, let's step onto the charts and let's see what we have. So we're going to begin with GBP USD. Normally I like to start with EU, but today I'm going to start with GBP USD, and let's begin on a fresh sheet, FXCM. Now I'm going to start from the daily time frame. Okay, I want you guys to pay attention, so we're going to take our time and break this whole thing down. Now on the higher time frame, weekly, daily, H4, prices excessively bullish. Okay, we are highly bullish, and this is my last daily or weekly low, anyhow you want to call it, to the high. Okay, now with this inside here, I can see this last low to my high over here. Okay, so now I can focus on this, ignoring everything that is down there, just to focus on this one. So right in here I can step onto H4 and also to start looking for what my internal structures are saying. So in here, this is the first time I saw a break of structure of this high. Right in here you can see that it was done with a wick, which is okay. So in here I have this low that created this high, and this is now my new low that has created this high. What it means is that I will ignore everything and focus on just this low to this high. Okay, now within this I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm going to define what the internal structures are saying, which leaves us with this low to this high. Okay, now that I have this, I can step onto intraday and try to find out what the intraday is saying. Now all these things that I'm doing is very simple. Okay, now what it means is that if we don't break this low, we will never come down here. If we don't break this one, we will never come down here. That is all. So we need to tackle those areas which price is likely to break or hold first, okay, before we can move to the next ones. So in here I can step onto intraday and try to find out what the intraday is saying. So the first thing is we had this beautiful break to the top, okay, leaving us with this beautiful intraday point of interest, which we have here. Okay, so this is going to be demand nicely. Okay, now in here something is happening in here. Okay, so I can see this beautiful fake out over here. Now what this fake out is doing is that it is trying to tell us that we also have some major internal structures in here, which is this low to this high, okay, and then this low to this high. All right, now in here you can see that we had price going below this fake out point. What it means is that price was supposed to tap into this point of interest up here and then sell to the downside, but we can see that it has been breached, and the reason is very simple. I'm pretty much sure that by now you know why price took out this point of interest. It's simply because this high is in confluence with the Asian low. That's all. Sorry, with the Asian high. It's in confluence with the Asian high. So in as much as this guy has taken it out, I am not bothered. The reason is because in as much as we've taken out this high, we can still have price coming all the way to the downside. Super simple. Okay, so currently because we've taken out this high with a wick, I'm also going to focus on this low to this high. Okay, so this is where we'll start building our story. Now in here, this is what I'm expecting. After this wick break on a normal day, this guy is supposed to become like a point of interest, but because it has first of all equal lows, secondly it is in confluence with Asian low, there is a higher tendency that this guy will be taken out. That's the first thing that you should know. So we can have price coming all the way like this to the downside, taking it out, maybe retracing, or maybe like giving a shallow retracement and then coming back into this point of interest. That is the first view. But then looking into details, we need to also ask ourselves, what is the internal structure saying? How will we know that price will come into this area in here? Okay, so let me mark this as SMT. All right, potentially. All right, potentially. So in here we need to ask ourselves that what is the internal structure saying? So in here we have this low, we have this high. Within this swing that we've marked, we have a low that created a high, and then we have a low that created this high. What it also means is that this guy here is acting as an obstacle. Very, very simple. All right, what do I mean by an obstacle? It means that in as much as we are looking for price to drop to the downside, this guy can hold the bullish move and then push up once more before, if any drop will happen, then we're gonna drop. Another way that we can also look at this is, in as much as we have this what do you call it, obstacle over here, or this point of interest over here, this low, personally I think I want to see it taken out. This one, I want to see price take out this guy over here, then I'll have an opportunity to maybe buy counter in case this point of interest decides to hold. So first scenario, we can take out this guy, then we can buy to the top. Now when we are coming, don't forget, this is also another area that you need to watch. Okay, so this will look like something like this. So let's say we have this internal structure doing something like this, and then this last low will be this one over here, taking out, coming back to respect, and then dropping. This is the first thing that you can look at. Okay, so we can have price doing that, taking out this low, giving us the opportunity to take a counter trend trade, and then when we come back into the zone, we can now look for what, a push to the downside like this. This is the first one. Second thing that can happen is that we can even go higher, take out this previous weekly high. I think so, yeah, previous, this high is from Thursday, so when we are stepping into the new week, it is going to become the highest point for the previous week. So we can have price doing that, taking it out, and then coming back down again. Okay, these are the first two scenarios. Another scenario that we can have is, we can have price going ahead to take out this low, okay, and even taking out this internal structural low, and then retracing into this point. Now because this guy over here is an SMT, I would personally love to see it taking out. So we can have a situation where when the market opens, we're going to have a takeout straight away. Now the moment this guy takes this low away, it confirms to us that we can start the move to the downside. Okay, it just confirms that this guy was just an inducement and not just a break of structure. So we can take it out nicely, then we can now start to look for what, an opportunity like a counter trend trade. Now when it happens like this, this guy will now become a point of interest here like this. Okay, so we're gonna have, let's say, supply. So when it happens like this guy breaks this last point over here, this guy is now going to act as a point of interest where we can look for price to come in there and then sell off into the main POI that we marked here. Okay, so this is also another thing that you can look at. This is just GBP USD anyway. So yeah, that's how simple you should keep it. Don't stress yourself. So when you wake up on Sunday, or let's say Monday, you want to trade, first thing is just check out if this low has been taken, and then we are still inside the POI. We can have an opportunity for like a counter, okay, into a POI in here. Then we can drop or clear the highs as the previous weekly high and then drop. Okay, or we can have price breaking this low, going ahead, even sometimes breaking this internal and giving you like a little push before we continue. Or personally, I would love to, if like we break this guy, I would personally love to see price come down and even take out this low, okay, over here before I can look for any trades to the top. All right, so these are the various scenarios that I'll be looking at on GBP USD. Very, very simple. Now to Euro USD. To Euro USD again, let's go for a clean chart, FXCM. The same thing, I'm going to start from higher time frame. Now on Euro USD, the story looks a little bit different on the higher time frame. The reason is because weekly we are bullish, right? But then daily is bearish. So this is my weekly point of interest over here, okay? And price has tapped into that point of interest already, but on the daily time frame, we've had a break of structure to the downside over here, leaving us with a daily supply, and that is where price is currently. But the thing is, I have personally marked this daily POI as an SMT. The reason is because I am anticipating a break of this point of interest, okay? And the reason is because price is coming from a weekly supply. That's how simple I try to keep things. But in as much as I have marked it as an SMT, I also have it at the back of my mind that it is a higher time frame POI. I don't control price. Sometimes I'll be anticipating a break, but price will just give like a good reaction, and then we will continue to the top. It can happen like that. So I just have that at the back of my mind. So in here, price is inside a daily POI, which I have personally marked as SMT. Now after this one, what I can do is that I can look for what my last low and my last high is, which is this last high over here, and then this last low over here. I can step onto H4, and then on the H4 time frame, you realize that we have price breaking this high nicely with a wick. Okay, so right in here again, we have this last low, like I said, to this high. We can mark our point of interest, which is this point over here, acting as a range POI demand. Now what it means is that we can have price retracing all the way to the down into this point of interest before buying, or if price decides to break this guy, then it means that we are going to retrace a little bit downwards in line with the daily story. Okay, so in here again, I would like to define what my internal structures are doing. We can see that we had this last internal high taken out by this wick over here. So now this is my low and this is my high, so I need to focus on just this one. Okay, so now that I have a high and a low, I can step onto intraday. Very simple. So in here you realize that this is the last low that actually caused the break of this high. A lot of people will be thinking that this is the low that created. No, this is the last low that went to break this high. So in here, this is a very good point of interest. The only thing is that it is in confluence with the Asian low. But the reason why I was focusing on this point of interest is because if you watch to your left, you realize that we had liquidity built over here, and it was taken out by this guy. So liquidity take out liquidity, it still doesn't matter. We can still have price coming down to take out this guy, but then we've not gotten there yet. So in here, all what we can do is that we can focus on what the intraday is saying. So currently the intraday is heavily bullish. That's the truth. We are heavily bullish on the intraday with this low to this high printed in here. I can see this internal low high, which is fine, it doesn't matter. But if you go deeper within the internal structures, you're going to realize that we have this guy over here, which got broken here as an internal structure. Now this guy here means that price wants to start retracing at least into this point of interest, or even the lower one. That's what it means. So in here I have this beautiful point of interest. You realize that I didn't mark my point of interest like this. Let me show you real quick. I didn't do this here. I didn't do this. No, I did this. So this is what I call like a range point of interest. So this guy over here is a beautiful point of interest, and you can see that we've already tapped in. In fact, I had a beautiful sell from here, but I closed at 5 hour. I didn't want any trouble. The reason is because in as much as we have like a bullish intraday and a bearish kind of momentum, okay, we also have this bullish thing building up here. 1, 2, 3. The only thing that is giving me the confidence that we're going to break this low, we are likely to break this low, is the fact that we have all of these lows over here, which has formed some kind of like liquidity. Okay, that's the only thing. But apart from that, I need to respect what the market is trying to communicate to me. So in here, what I'm going to do is that I am going to put this point of interest right in here like this. What it means is that when I wake up on, let's say, Monday, and price is still hovering around this area, I have certain scenarios to look for. The first scenario is to look for a sell into this point of interest. That's the first one. Okay, that is if I get any opportunity to sell off. I'm going to continue what started today, that's Friday, into this point of interest. And then if we happen to break this guy again, I'll be happy. If we break this guy, I'll be happy to see this one taken out. It will look like this. 1, 2, 3, taken out nicely. Now when this guy is taken out, it will be a very lovely setup for me personally. Why? Because a low from a previous day has been taken, and so I can get an opportunity for like a counter trend. Okay, that's the second scenario. First scenario is that if price is still hovering up above this POI, I can look for sales to the downside, or better still, I'll just wait patiently for price to take out this low over here, then I can get a counter to the top first. Okay, and let me show you something real quick. When this low is taken out, let's say we have price coming down to take out this low, we're gonna have the same thing that happened on GU like this. So you're gonna have that kind of a 1, 2, 3 move, and then we can come up into this guy to sell off once again. Okay, so that's the first thing that I would personally love to see. So another thing that can happen is that in as much as we are kind of like anticipating like that bearish move to the downside, price can also respect this bullish momentum and push up once more to clear this high, okay, before we come down. The same way, when price is coming down, you need to pay attention to this point of interest. It needs to break before we can confirm price intention to drop lower. Okay, this point of interest, I feel like is most likely going to be taken out, because even if you look at the GU story, if we are dropping, we are gonna have this POI to get to. Okay, and mostly EU and GU, they move hand in hand. Okay, so to put everything in summary, what I'm trying to say is that EU, we are having a bullish intraday inside a bearish daily leg. This is the last bullish intraday point, which is in confluence with the Asian low. And even though we've taken out liquidity, I understand that we've taken out liquidity, we can even still have price coming in there to take it out and tap into this POI proper before we move to the top. That is the whole bigger picture. But then looking at it into detail, we can have a scenario where in here we have a beautiful POI and price has tapped in there. We can just break this first internal POI, then we can look for an opportunity to counter to the top. Then when we have gotten into certain levels, we can now sell back down. Okay, that is what I'll prefer. And then another one is that we can have price respecting that bullish flow. Okay, we can have price respecting that bullish like momentum in here. The reason why I'm saying bullish momentum is because if you're watching here, we have like a 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can have price respecting that, tapping in there, pushing up higher once more before we can now come down. When we are coming down, we need to pay attention to this. We need to break this before we can drop to the downside. Okay, so that is how simple you should keep these two guys. Okay, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please do well to give this video a thumbs up and leave a like and a comment in the comment section. I wish you all the best for this upcoming trading week. Stay safe, have a peaceful week. Bye bye.